Hello and welcome to the tutorial on robotic process automation using UiPath. So in this session, we will consider an example to build a workflow using Screen Scraper Wizard that scrapes the text using the tessaract OCR scraping method from an image and stores in a notepad. So initially, we'll open up the browser and search for an image that contains some textual information, and then we will try to scrape the text using the tessaract OCR scraping method, and then we will try to store the same information in a notepad file. So let us jump into our UiPath Studio software and let us create a new flowchart and let us name it as scraping example and say create. The designer panel is ready. Let us go to the activities panel, and the first activity that we are going to add is the open browser activity. Okay, so once we open up the browser, we should be able to access the Google. So let us give the URL here as www.google.com, and let us change the browser type in the properties panel to be Chrome. Otherwise, the default browser that is selected is Internet Explorer. Okay. Then once we open up the browser, the first activity that we should be adding here is the type into activity, so that we can type into the Google search bar. So let us add it here, and it will ask for you to indicate it on the browser. So let us indicate it on the browser. So this is our Google, and this is the search bar that we would like to select through the UiPath. So let us select this, and what should be typed is going to be written here. So let us search for text images in the search bar, and after this it should trigger the enter button. So that's why we'll add it here itself. It is typed as well as the enter key is pressed, so that the search button is clicked. Okay, so once this is done, we will get some sort of images which contains textual information. So for that reason, let us try to run this workflow and see how it can load all the textual images for us. So it has started the debugging of the workflow, and now it has started the execution of the workflow. So once it starts, the bot will run and open up the browser. So it is loading the google.com, and it is going to type in the search bar as text images and hits the enter button. So this is where we should start scraping the information. So before starting the scraping of the information, we should also be clicking on a particular image. So that's why we should also make use of one more activity here, that is click activity. Okay, so click, we will drag and drop it here, and we should be indicating it on the browser. So let us click on this particular image. Okay, and let us also have it available for us to scrape the information. Okay, so this is ready. Now we will try to scrape this particular image. So let us go to the UiPath Studio software. Now we will use the feature available in the ribbon called as screen scraping, so that we can scrape the information. Okay, so let me click here. So now it will ask you to indicate the image or window from where it should extract the information or scrape the information. So this is where I'll indicate. So this is the screen scraping wizard available in UiPath Studio. So at the left we have the information that is scraped will be available, and the scraping method will be available at the right hand side. So we have three different methods here. One is the native method, and the other one is full text method, and the other one is OCR method. So in this example, let us use this OCR method, which stands for optical character recognition. So this method usually scrapes the information with a very less speed, and this makes use of different optical character recognition engines. So the available ones are the Microsoft OCR and the Tessaract OCR. For our example, let us try to consider the Tessaract OCR, and let us have all other options to be as it is, and let us click on the refresh button so that it will scrape the information by making use of optical character recognition method. So it will take a bit of time as it is slow in scraping the information, and it is also not accurate about the scraping. So this is the information that it has scraped. Okay, so let us click on the finish button available here in the wizard so that it will go back to the UiPath Studio software. So altogether this screen scraping is added separately here. So let us cut this activity and paste it inside the open browser activity so that it will execute it in a flow. We can paste it here. So once it is ready to be scraped, it will start this screen scraping sequence and tries to execute the information. So once the information is scraped, it is being stored in this img variable, which is created by default. Okay, so after this, the next task is to store it in a notepad file. So for that, we'll make use of a simple write text activity. Okay, so we'll make use of this write text file activity, and the text to be written is the img dot toString and file. So we need to choose by clicking on this three dots. So let us create one notepad file in the desktop and name it as scraping info.txt. Okay, and click on the save button so that the entire information is saved on a text file. So let us save this workflow and let us run this workflow. So it has started the debugging and the execution. Now the bot has started running. It has opened up the Chrome browser and it has searched for text images, and then it has clicked on first image, and then it has selected the image for scraping, and then once it is scraped, it is being written to a text file. It is going to take a bit of time as the OCR method is a slower one. So now it has completed the execution of the workflow. Let us go to the file on the desktop and check whether the data is written or not. So let us open up this. So this is the information that it has scraped, and it has successfully written it on the text file.